Hey, it's been a while. I wanted to get out a quick video before Volume 13 comes out. I've been super busy with game dev recently, but this seems like a quick topic to make a video on. I talk about value a lot in my stuff since I see it as the core theme of the series and what the whole structure of the series is built around. So I wanted to make a video digging into some of the potential real-world influences. I'll be comparing the 5 levels of value to the 5 levels of Xing from Taoism, although similar concepts can be found in other East Asian beliefs as well, and also alchemy. My guess is that Tsukushi drew inspiration from Buddhism, since the abyss itself is very similar to Naraka from Buddhism. But the examples of the stages of Wuxing, especially the ones that describe personal growth, are way more prevalent, so I'll be using that as a point of reference. But if you know a good amount about Buddhism, definitely reach out to me. I'd love to learn more and just chat about that. Because of that, though, this is going to be a very brief summary and comparison between Wuxing and value. If you want more of an in-depth explanation on the details about Wuxing, definitely check out Benabel Wen's videos on it. Her videos on Taoism were what inspired me to make this video in the first place, so a big shout out. So while Wuxing is sometimes referred to as the 5 elements, that's a misunderstanding that stems from the very surface level comparison between that and the Greek 4 elements. Unlike the 4 classical elements, which are usually just seen as physical building blocks of the world, the elements of Wuxing, which translates literally to 5 phases, are way more symbolic and represent states of change, with each state flowing into the next one. The associations that are tied to each of them depend a lot on the field it's being applied to, and they're way too numerous for this video, so I'm just going to be doing a very surface level, simple explanation for each and connecting it to value. First is wood. This is the initial arising and sprouting stage of something. It's similar to Shi, which represents the birth of a wish. Shi is the beginning, a spark of value that's just starting to form but is still very small. After that, wood feeds fire, where the initial thing that arose in wood now expands and is amplified and energized. Similarly, ku is an overlapping of value. As many small wishes come together, they feed off of each other and amplify each other and lead to a strong but very unstable and very unfocused value. Then, as fire dies down, it becomes earth, representing transformation and a point of stability. And similar to earth, Gutsu is the solidification of wishes. The very sporadic and energized passion of Ku has to be calmed down in order to form a more stable and more focused wish. Following this, the processes of earth create metal, representing a time of harvest and division, and it can also represent the point where someone recognizes conflicts and realizes that things need to change. And on the value side of this, Mei is the liberation of wishes. The value of Gutsu is focused, but it often has problems and has to be refined. It's a very chaotic time and can come with a lot of hardships, but it leads to a much truer understanding of what actually matters to someone. And then following that, metal collects water, which is a time of distillation and calm that acts both as an end and as a beginning. Kind of like how autumn calms down and becomes winter, and then after the stasis of winter it becomes spring. After the chaos of Mei settles, what remains is just that truest form of value, Haku. With this, we can more easily see that the levels of value are a lot about maturing and a lot about the developing of someone's desires. With that lens, I want to go through and go down each of the value levels and talk about them a bit more. She is that, initial stage of wanting something. It's still small, but it's inspired. Like with Riko's initial desire to reach the bottom of the abyss, or Fapuza's rage when she was born. And then Ku is formed from the goal being pursued and a lot of other wishes coming around and collecting around it, like with Riko's building goals and emotional attachments and the connections and people that come in around her to help move her forward. And those added attachments make her a lot more serious and invested in her journey. And then from that has to become Gutsu, when the passion of Ku becomes a more focused and singular goal. This is the time when goals come within reach, when it turns from a wishful desire to an actual reality. And like with what Inspirational talked about in his video on chapter 58, which I've referenced probably like 20 times on this channel by this point, Faputa reached her Gutsu when she broke into Iraburu and was able to actually exact the revenge that she wanted. And currently, Riko is being faced with the reality of actually reaching the bottom of the abyss. She's entering that last layer that is known, and she has to refine her goal rather than just chasing whatever. She has to actually focus in on that desire to get to the bottom of the abyss in order to actually see it through. And in the last arc too, Nanachi faced the reality of actually seeing and being with Midi again. And then from Gutsu comes Mei, as one realizes that their goal wasn't all that they expected. This is when the outer goal is within reach, and that inner need really makes itself known. It's a very emotional time and comes with a lot of unlearning and shedding of who you are, who you thought you were, what you thought you wanted. Nanachi reached this when they had to let go of Midi, and they realized that what they actually wanted was to continue the journey with Reg and Riko instead of just being stuck in the comfort of the past. And Fapta reached this with the memories that Bailoff gave her, the fight with Reg, when the creatures invaded, and all of just the complicated emotions around that part of the story. And in the future, Riko will have to analyze her desire to reach the bottom of the abyss and find out what she actually wants beyond just go down. She'll need to make sacrifices during this time, both physically and emotionally, just shedding anything and anyone that's weighing her down and keeping her from the path to actually reaching Haku. And then, as the chaos of Mei subsides, Haku emerges. Once everything has been dealt with, once the emotional baggage has been lifted, only that true desire remains. Fapta reached this when she woke up and was rejuvenated by the villagers. She realized that her true desire was to free her mother from her suffering, and that she didn't need to burn herself away seeking just revenge. The extreme emotions of Fapta really highlighted her journey, as we saw a very mature and determined Fapta emerge from the pure rage from before. She came out to see through her truest desire without anything holding her back. And like Wuxing, the levels of value are a cycle. Water nourishes wood as the cycle renews, and this can be seen with Fapta as she achieved the Haku of laying her mother to rest. And then the end of that cycle gives way to the next, and she moved from her mother's desire to taking the torch from Gawarun and focusing on a pursuit of new knowledge and new experiences. I'm excited to see how the rest of the cast evolves as they pursue and understand their values, and I'm very excited to see what the rest of Volume 13 has to bring. Until then, I'll see you all later. Bye.